Hello, how are you guys doing today? I'm Alex Perry, and this is another episode of Tips, Tricks, and DIY. This is another episode dealing with the topic of filming interviews. Now, if you've ever filmed interviews before, you'll know that getting the microphone as close to the subject's face as possible is super important. This will ensure you get the cleanest sounding audio, especially if you're in an echoey room. Ideally, you'd want the mic to be right in the subject's face, right near their mouth, but that would mean it would be in the shot. So today, I'm going to show you how you can remove or delete microphones from your interview shots. Let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your main interview shot. Place the subject far enough away from the background so that there's good separation. Set up your lights and have your subject or stand-in sit in place. I'm not going to break down how to set up the lighting for this episode today, as I did film another video on setting up interview lighting, so you can check that out by clicking on the card right up here. Next, you want to set up your microphone. Place it as close as possible to the subject where it's completely in frame. Just make sure there's enough room so that when they're talking or moving around a bit in their seat, they never cross over and the mic doesn't pass over any part of their body, especially their face. You can record a sample to test it all out to make sure you're happy with how it sounds. Once you're happy with how everything looks and sounds, you can go ahead and conduct your interview. And yes, the microphone will remain here fully in view the whole time. Just monitor the interview as it's happening to make sure the subject doesn't move and cross over with the microphone in the frame. If they do, have them redo that part and inform them to try to stay in place. Once you're done filming your interview, now it's time to shoot a clean plate. This is a clip of video with the exact same framing in the same scene that doesn't have the microphone or subject in place. So ask your subject to step out of frame and remove your mic and stand. Now, with all the same lighting in place, shoot about 30 seconds or so of this clean plate. Alternatively, you can have your subject still sit in place, just make sure they stay very still and don't move too close to the mic. This might be better if you're in a smaller space because the key that you're using to light your subject might spill onto the background and change the scene a bit if they're not sitting there anymore. So just use your own judgment or shoot them both if you want. Finally, you're going to want to head over to your favorite editing program and mask in the clean plate. Now, it doesn't really matter what software you use here, it's pretty much the same process in any program. Ideally, you'd want to cut together your interview first so you have it all set up and ready to go. Then, you're going to want to overlap your clean plate footage on top of your main interview footage. You might have to duplicate the clip a bunch of times until it fills the whole duration of your interview. You can lower the opacity of this layer a little bit just to make sure everything's lined up perfectly. If it's a bit off, you might want to play around with the scale and the positioning of both the interview footage and the clean plate until it all lines up. Then, go over to your mask tool and start drawing a mask around where the microphone is. You can always adjust the points as you need to once you have your first mask drawn. Make sure you leave a bit of space between the edge of your mask and the item you're masking out and increase the feather to soften out the mask edge. Then, make sure you don't forget to raise the opacity back to 100%. You'll notice your mic and your mic stand have just disappeared. It's really that simple. So there you have it. That's how you can easily remove or delete microphones from your interview shots. This will help ensure you get the cleanest and best quality sounding audio. I hope you take what you learned here today and get creative with how you can film your interviews. If you enjoyed today's episode of Tricks, Tips, and DIY, please make sure to drop me a like and leave me a comment letting me know what you thought. Also, it would be awesome if you can share this video with your friends. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified every single time I drop new episodes like this one. Trust me, there's lots more episodes coming your way, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Alex Perry, and I'll catch you in the next episode. See ya!